Gillette, the best a man can get.
Back here, first things first, and we're here with former NFL quarterback Danny Kanell. Hey, Danny.
How's
welcome.
it going? What's up, man? Good.
Doing all right? It's good to be back. Feels like I haven't been here in a while.
Wait a second.
Here,
Yeah. You have more hair than the last time I saw you, bro.
It's growing
nice
out.
New glasses and everything. It's growing out.
But wait.
And what about my man?
I know, it looks sharp. It looks good, you know?
The promotion that was caused because of Danny Kanell's shoes. Of all
Danny,
things.
I mean, Danny has not come on this show wearing a pair of shoes that cost less than $1,000.
Oh, that's not true.
At
That's
any
not true.
point.
You gotta have hookups. You know? You gotta have
okay.
hookups. You gotta
Cost
talk to the right
$1,000
people.
for the common man. Danny Kanell just get them sent to him. I got you. I got
All right, let's talk some football. You could say the hottest quarterback in the league thus far has been Lamar Jackson. Here's how I know. He has the highest passer rating right now in the NFL. He has yet to throw a pick, and he's put on about 20 pounds of muscle since last season, which makes me very happy. Danny, back in 2018, before the draft, you were very high on Lamar. Is this level of success right now sustainable from what we've seen from him so far this season?
Absolutely. Lamar Jackson, and I've said this since he was coming out, is a franchise NFL quarterback. He will absolutely sustain this level of success. He has an offensive coordinator in Greg Roman, who, by the way, took Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, who is designing plays specifically for a quarterback with his skill set. But Lamar Jackson is Michael Vick 2.0. He's a better runner, and he is a much better passer when you look at accuracy, the ability to read out defenses, and to make the throws down the field. Now, the level of steps...
why he's a better runner than Michael Vick. Because it would appear that Michael Vick might be the fastest quarterback that ever played the game. Correct,
but I don't think Lamar is that much slower, but he also has a better knack for protecting himself, which is the one question, and you're saying, I'm glad he put on the 20 pounds because he's going to be able to have to be durable at this level, but he has a knack, and I've played with some guys like this, not quarterbacks, but Warwick Dunn was a great example, a smaller running back who was fast, but he had a knack for not taking those big shots. There's an innate ability, a sense, like it's like a sixth sense that you cannot coach, where they kind of feel there's a presence. Okay, now's when I have to turn my body. Now's when I have to get out of bounds. Now's when I have to get rid of the football. And Lamar Jackson has that sixth sense where I do think he'll protect himself. Now, there's going to be some shots that he has to take, but I also think last year, as much as he was running the ball, he showcased that he can take some of that pounding that he would as a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I think that one problem, and with the dual threat quarterback and with the African-American quarterback, is when they try to convert from being an athlete to being a quarterback, it seems like there's a lot of ego there. So in dealing with Lamar, and you got a lot of intel with Lamar. He's from down in South Florida, went to Louisville. You also believe in the coaching that he got there, that he was underrated coming out as a passer. What they're doing with him now, he wants to learn the passing game. At this point, no, he's not Colin Kaepernick. He's a lot better thrower than Colin. He doesn't have the height and everything, but he's a better runner as far as avoiding people than Colin Kaepernick was. And you can see, I did last week's game, going down there interviewing people. Lamar is working on everything that you would want a young quarterback who was a pocket quarterback to work on. Yes, he worked on his body a little bit as far as putting on some weight and everything, but everything else is by the book of how you would train your franchise quarterback. And you have to give, you mentioned Greg Roman, David Cooley is their new passing game coordinator, also coaches their wide receivers. They have done a tremendous job of coaching him up, getting him ready. And what we're seeing, I believe also, he can sustain this, and he is the best version. Greg Roman told me, don't compare him to Tyrod Taylor and don't compare him to Cap. We know both of these guys have had success in this league, but he is so much better than both of them in both areas as far as athleticism, running, and throwing, dissecting coverages, Nick.
And the one thing you said that I think some people would take issue with or disagree with, I think it's why Chris had you expand on it, is the idea that Lamar is a better runner than Vic. So if you're watching and you say, no, he's not, even if you disagree with Danny on that, he is so clearly right now a more polished passer than I saw Mike Vick at any point until he had that year in Philadelphia. It took Vick a decade and a time away from football and then time with Andy Reid until he showed me the ability to pass the way Lamar is is passing right now. So even if Vick was a 9.5 out of 10 on running and you think Lamar's an 8.5, the passing is so different. And there's a reason that Vick, despite all his brilliance at Virginia Tech, did not have nearly the statistical success as a passer Lamar did. Lamar's passing numbers in college were exceptional. Vick was special in college and early on because of the athleticism and the ability to throw a great deep ball. That's the one thing Vick always was able to do. Lamar has been showing this year the ability to throw into windows, the ability to connect with Hollywood Brown, who I know you were high on coming out of college, but Hollywood Brown and Lamar have not had a ton of time together. You talked about this when you were there this weekend. Hollywood Brown was injured during the offseason. It's obviously his first year, so they don't even have the full route tree or the full rapport of things they can do together, and they're still having this connection. Now, is he going to keep up the highest quarterback rating in the NFL? No, but he doesn't have to have taken 3 steps forward in 1 year, and it is something for Baltimore because the defense didn't go anywhere. In fact, they added Earl Thomas. The running game didn't go anywhere. In fact, they added Mark Ingram. That if he just took 1 step forward, this was the only team in their division that made the playoffs last year, that if he looks like he's taken 2 or 3 steps forward, this can be a real Super Bowl contender, and they're playing another Super Bowl contender this weekend.
I feel like you guys are trying to get me to walk back that he's as good a runner as Michael Vick. Wait till the end of the season and talk to me, because he is electric in a he's electricity in a bottle. Do we forget? So, and I do think when we talk about statistics, like at the end of the season, I think every quarterback should have an asterisk, and you should have to remove the Dolphins game because it's going to be a stat patter for sure. But it's almost like we forget because he's passing now that he had 120 yards rushing last week. Sure. Like, like we're just kind of forgetting that he is such a dynamic runner, and he will have those plays that Mike Vick had, like he had against the Vikings, and like he's running all over people. He will have those plays that are highlight reel type runs. They'll come in time. In addition to the passing, the way they're using him in the passing game, watch out. He's going to be really tough to stop.
So quickly, what do you want to see from him against Kansas City now?
The way he's able to sustain this is be honest and take what the defense is giving him. In Miami, they had 8 in the box, no safety in the gut, and they carved them up. They ran everything diagonal over the top with 0 coverage. Next week against Arizona, they took away a little bit of the passing game to begin with, and what he started doing was read option, I'm going to keep it. They did some play action. Later in the game, him and Hollywood hook up down the field. So read the defense. Week in, week out, you can't have this week I'm going to throw for 300. This week I'm going to run. Whatever the defense gives them, Greg Roman, Cooley are putting them in a great game plan. Believe what you're seeing, and he's going to continue to get more and more confident. When we see these young guys and they have success in the league, it's contagious. And then they start studying more. They want more of it. So I believe we're going to see more of the new Lamar Jackson as far as more days where he has 250 passing, 80 to 100 rushing. Ravens win a whole bunch of games like that, Danny.
Totally agree. We got to take a break. Danny, stick around. Coming up, can Cam Newton, is he in jeopardy of missing Sunday's game against the Cardinals? Talk about that next on First Things First.
Let's really talk about these Travis Scott ones right here.
Look, even Skip doesn't have those.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, but okay now. Okay. Skip going to come through the TV on you.
That's right.